I just want to make a video here that's a good example of kind of helping the client go to the next stage. So we have a conversation here with a client where repeatedly I've asked him, say, hey, you can go to these websites and you can get templates and you can tell us what size works for your cost. And he keeps coming back, and eventually he finally said, hey, please use a common printing company template. Specific sizing is not so important. So he's not willing to do it. That's fine. He wants us to do it. So what I did is I came in here and I knew that their current size was a third of a page. And I went to Next Day Flyers because I've had experiences with them. There's Vistaprint. There's other printing websites that are out there. I came into a business flyer and I looked at a third of a page. So it's the whole row, the top to bottom, the 8.5 by 11, down to the 3 and 3.3 inches wide. I think that's what they currently have. So I got that one. I looked at it at a cost of, I think he'd probably order 1,000. He's not looking to do any smaller. He wants to do a lot. So $94. I put $95 in there. And I'm just putting this in here to help give him a reference. I guess I need to show you one more thing here. I got these attachments that show the half page. And so he has an idea what it looks like. I got these by clicking on these items, coming down to templates, and they have all the templates right down here, and I just downloaded a JPEG. JPEG's easier to email. You could do a PDF if you wanted to, that's fine as well, but giving them a Photoshop or an Illustrator file is not going to help. They're not going to be able to open it and see it. So I put these in here, and then someone can come grab whichever one they want. And then I'm also putting in my recommendation. I recommend the half page. Thoughts? So this is me taking the next step, doing the homework for him. Didn't take me more than 15 minutes. I can put that out there, and I can go put my time on this project. And let me do that real quick while I've got it. Because that 15 minutes is going to save me a lot when it comes to the conversations I'm going to have with them in the future. Because it'd probably take me 30 minutes if they don't know where to go. I mean, they're pushing back because they don't have time, or they don't want to do it, which means they're not gonna be able to do it correctly anyway. So find printing sizes for the client to consider. All right, management, and this is the contemporary route, should be up there. Insert coupon. Okay, so that's pretty easy, but again, what I'm emphasizing here is sometimes you need to take the initiative. You need to help them when they're pushing back. Give them what they need to make an easy decision. Here I went through and I'd say, in my situation, what would I do? I'd come to a place like Business Flyers. This is an easy online printing place, so they can get them printed for a pretty decent price. We can get templates set up so that they know what size they're going to get, what price it's going to cost. Answers a lot of those questions. I just picked 2 that I thought would be good. He told me on the phone that half page should fit within his shipments that go out. So half page seems to be just fine. That's why I recommended half page. Although I gave him the third of a page, which is what he's got right now, to make it to give him options. So again, that's the kind of mentality I'm looking for when it comes to working with clients. Is that, look, be proactive in giving them some good ideas.